Hello, welcome to another episode of Artist Podcast. This is Boris. I'm a cartoonist, podcaster, so you can find my comic strips on Instagram at comics by Boris. That's comics with the X at the end. And on my website, sketchmanboris.com. All the links are in the description below. So today, I talked to Giuliano, who I met through another common friend. And Giuliano is an artist, a painter himself. He's a creator, but also he's trying to put together a group of international artists. So, I hope that this will be one of many to come, because our time was limited, so we couldn't cover a lot of topics, but I guess this is a good introduction to what Giuliano is doing, and he's also really nice enough to join my meetups and that I do every Sunday about different topics on drawing. So without further ado, and just one more thing before I go any further, I finally figured out how to connect, how to use my microphone that I use for my podcast for these video chats. So I was really happy about that, because I think it really increased the quality of my voice. So without further ado, let's go into the episode. This is episode International Artist with Giuliano. Enjoy.
So, okay, Giuliano, so thank you very much for doing this, first of all. And so I just want to, first of all, ask you to introduce yourself so that people can know where you come from, what do you do, and how did you end up in Thailand?
Okay, thank you so much, Boris, for having me on your podcast. I'm from the States, from Florida, USA. I traveled there in 1986 from Chile, South America. Mm-hmm. And I went to Miami, Florida to study art. Mm-hmm. And I went to, I started there in junior high and college, middle school and then college and so on. And then after doing some projects and art shows and other things, many years to the future, then I got married and decided to move here to Bangkok, Thailand. After coming here and going back to the States a few times, it was better for me to move here.
Okay, so your training is in art, like classical art, like what when you say art, you studied art, like what?
I did a lot of things with art. I started with drawing, like figure drawing, landscapes, mm-hmm. Still life. Mm-hmm. Then I moved into painting. Mm-hmm. Into like a graphic design also with computers when they came out around 2000, 2001. I did some computer animation, some really basic computer animation, because I wanted to go into... When I went to college, I took some classes in computer programming or computer science, what they call it, right? Computer science. But because I had a background in art since I was 5 years old, I started drawing, and for me it was very easy. I found it very easy to draw. I went into the what they call intermedia artists, which is like a mix. It's a mix of drawing, painting, and then computer graphics and things like that, like a graphic artist.
Okay. And now, are you doing a freelance? What are you doing now?
Right now, I'm running an international group that I started in 2001 And this group, I started it through a newsletter via email, which was a list of the top 100 websites, art websites that promoted artists for free. Like having their own portfolio, the portfolio, and then depending on how many pieces of artwork you could upload, meaning that if you could upload 100 paintings of your work, they would go at the top of the list. And then if another site would let you have only 6 pictures of your work on your profile, it will go to the lower list, right? So it was a rating. It was like a rating that I was doing. This was way before Facebook, way before Twitter and LinkedIn, even before MySpace. You remember MySpace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got like 40,000 followers in MySpace, but I can't. Nobody uses MySpace anymore.
Okay. So so basically, you're building this. Can we say database of sort of websites that promote artists, right?
Right. That's what I did. I made a list of all these websites that had different services for artists, like either a profile that they can put their artworks in to promote themselves or sell the artwork. And that included also websites that there were directories, like directories of artists. Some websites are like directories. They don't actually sell your work, but they're a directory for universities or databases. They're like databases, like you were asking. They're like databases for artists that are in different locations of the world. So some of them are in different languages.
Okay. So how long have you been in Thailand?
I've been here I'm going to now. It's going to be 5 years.
Okay, yeah, it's sort of similar to me. Like I came to Thailand in 2015. So yeah. So and is there something interesting or so what have you found out about the Thailand art scene? Were you able to I don't know.
I haven't found that much of an art scene here in Bangkok. I went to a place, I can't remember the name at the top of my head, but it was kind of like these places, the places that are usually run by a school or some type of educational thing, and they have like a place where they can show the artwork, and if you want to show, you got to submit kind of like some paperwork with the description of the artwork. And
so it was like
it was a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
It was a little bit complicated to get in, but I didn't go with that purpose. Just to look around. In Florida, especially in Miami Beach area, there's a lot of districts that are full of art. I mean, that's where I'm coming from. Like the art district, and you got the art Basel project that goes out through November to December, January, and there are hundreds and hundreds of artists at this place. I didn't found anything like that, but I'm sure there is other places, according to a list that I acquired not long ago. Through a friend from a hangout, Meetup. He has a list. Through Meetup.
Yeah. So actually, I mean, we got introduced by Todd, who I think I'll also record a podcast with him in the future because he's also a very interesting guy. So
I'm talking about the list that he put together.
And he has like a lot of contacts. I think he has really great connections.
Yeah, I was very impressed when I saw the list because, like, when I made my list, I can appreciate all the work that goes through doing the research to put the list together. I mean, it's not just a list, you know. It's a lot more than that.
Yes. And that's, that's really valuable. So,
Right.
So, okay. So I think there can be many reasons why, it was difficult to sort of identify like a art scene, like you said, similar to the art scene which can be found in other major cities. But so one of the reasons I think might be maybe language barrier. Maybe maybe there's like a really closed, maybe there's a really small circle of Thai artists. So that might be the case. But I don't know. But so what do you think? Like, for example, so to be honest, I love Bangkok, and that's why I decided to stay here. And I want to make create a following. I want to make a name for myself as a cartoonist. And so I was talking with a friend. She also is trying to. But she's not a cartoonist. She likes to paint, and so she's also trying to make a living from her art. But she's thinking about leaving the country and then moving to. She hasn't decided yet. She's just thinking about it. But then, so I thought about if the art scene in Bangkok is not that strong, isn't that an opportunity for people to actually create one, right? Like, I don't know, I was just thinking.
Right, exactly. I was thinking the other day about it, and I was giving it some thought, and I said to myself, coming from Miami Beach where there is all this competition, there is a lot of competition over there. There is a lot of art, a lot of artists, and a lot of competition. I think for here, a place like Bangkok, that it has so many millions of people, it's actually even better because then you don't have to deal with all this competition.
Yeah, and also Bangkok, of course, it has the population of Bangkok itself, but Bangkok is also a huge hub for Southeast Asia, which means all kinds of people and. There are direct flights from here to everywhere, so you can find many people from many different Asian countries, and they come here. Right. So again, of course, with the situation now, I mean, again, it will recover. I think I can already see that. I think it will. I'm seeing good signs that this corona situation will.
I hope everybody stays safe for now, and they keep painting and doing the art projects. Safely, and hopefully, we'll be through this soon, and everything will start recovering.
Okay. Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm very hopeful. I'm always a optimist. So I'm hopeful. And so speaking about the art scene in Thailand, and so I understand. Yeah, you just got recently some new connections from Todd. So have you tried contacting, even if in this difficult situation, have you tried contacting artists in Bangkok or in Thailand?
Well, the list that I have is more for the galleries themselves. So, I don't speak Thai. My type is very neat noi, say. So, I was thinking in gathering some people here in Bangkok, and that was my intention. I already have the group that when Facebook came out, they offered this option for people to have groups. They also have them on LinkedIn, but they had them first, so I signed up with them. And now it has grown up to almost 100,000 members. So I wanted to contact some of the members here and put the group together and start contacting these galleries here. and there are also other places that are not like galleries, like big cafes, and there's a lot of coffee shops and restaurants, and I mean you can put art anywhere. But I also need artists because we need art for this too. So we need to contact artists. So that's one thing that it's been a little bit difficult for me because of the language barrier to get some artists here to be able to join once this pandemic quiets down and people start going out.
Yeah. So so as someone who is using social media, who's trying to be present online, and I also get caught. I mean, I sometimes get confused of like, because there are so many platforms. So from your experience, because for example, you mentioned Facebook. Of course, I post my comic strips on Instagram, and then I connected my Instagram account to my Facebook page, and then so it also automatically posts on Twitter. And I also see the option that there is a Tumblr, and I've never used Tumblr, but so I'm thinking, so what is the, I mean, as for artists, like, it's very, I mean, it's stupid to say that there are so many choices, because that it's good that we have choices, but then what is the right way? Like, is there, what do you think works from your experience, like when it comes to like getting attention?
For my experience, one website is never enough. And I've been saying this for many years. Some people told me, "Oh, I don't like Facebook, or I don't like Instagram, or I don't like Twitter," But in the end, as the time goes on, if you get on the you're gonna want to later. Like, I know people that they didn't like Facebook, and now they're on Facebook because everybody else is on Facebook. So if they don't use it, they cannot connect, right? So I would suggest artists to open accounts on the major ones. Like, okay, you mentioned Tumblr. Tumblr, I believe, is owned by WordPress, the content management company for developing websites for free. At least they have that option. Now, the main ones that most people or most web developers, designers use for their clients is always Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, Pinterest. They use Pinterest a lot too. And
so LinkedIn, you mean for artists? Artists use LinkedIn also now?
Some of them do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them do. The ones that you see, there are some artists that work, like in Florida. You see a lot of artists that work for Disney. Or they go. I met a lot of artists back in the day when I was going to school. That they went specifically to Orlando just to study down there so they can work for Disney. Their dream was to work for Disney. But some people don't want to work for a mouse. Some people like to make their own art and own. They want to own their own art.
Yes.
But some people don't. They prefer to work for a company. So I guess that's the. Everybody got to make their choices when it comes. It can be a difficult choice sometimes.
So to sort of debrief again. So you said that you recommend people to create in the major ones. So of course Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and so of course Instagram, I think, is also interesting.
Pinterest is used to
Pinterest. So I've even been thinking about because all the platforms that we mentioned are already saturated with artists or whatever content you name it, any content, if you go on Facebook, there will be so many thousands or millions of artists. So
Yeah.
I've even been thinking about, like, there's a new platform like TikTok, which is, I think, which is just started.
Yes.
So
TikTok. Yes.
I was thinking about like creating also an account on that, and then just draw like on TikTok, like with some music. I don't know how it works, but I think it's also a new opportunity for artists. I don't know what have you looked into that? Like, have you? I know TikTok is known for like like teenage kids like dancing and like doing stupid things, but.
Well, yeah, Instagram and TikTok, there are some websites that came out later, apps that were created later for the younger generation because they're easier to use, especially from the phone.
Yeah.
Because they since the traffic, there are more phones than anything around, than computers now. So it's easier, I guess, for them to get more followers or more people to join through the phone. And with these applications like Instagram or TikTok, you record directly from the phone, you take the picture with the phone, and then you upload it directly. So it makes it easier. There is not so much. You don't have to think about so much about a tagline or a long sentence to write. But I also added the hashtags now and the with your name, so you can search. So the search engine. I mean, there are so many things. That they keep adding, and soon there will probably be other applications like this new one, the TikTok.
Yeah,
I think it's useful if you use it and you get into it now. In 5 years from now, if you get into all these applications now that I mentioned, if you look to the future, to 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to have a better following of people for your work. You're going to have more people you can show your work to through those applications, and you can make videos, you can make anything you want, right?
Yeah. So actually, you mentioned when, like, people, one of the things that people would say is that, oh, I don't like this platform, I don't like that platform, but then they are missing out on like some market or like some audience, right? So sure. And so this is also, I think, I mean, I also have that, I think, in a little bit in me, because artists usually are a little bit lazy, like, or they don't really want to, they feel like they are selling out if they sort of chase that market or chase the audience, you know what I'm saying? So, but when we say that we want to make a living, which means we want to make money, and when you want to make money, you have to have that business mindset, right? Like you can't like be in the middle of like, oh, I'm an artist, but I don't want, So I don't know. Like, do you think about that? Like that dilemma that most artists have?
Sure. I think about that all the time, and what artists have to do if they want to manage their artwork better online is you cannot do everything with a phone. I mean, I see some people that try the phone like if it was a laptop. But it's not. That's why these applications like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, you have to sometimes even resize the picture to their specifications, and you have to write like a sentence, and it's good for people to find you if you write a sentence or a topic or what is the image about, and you add some hashtags on what it's about. It goes into different places on the website that people can pull up topics, and they will get your artwork automatically. So it works, in a way, it works better. And to stay on top of it, you will have to use a computer better than a phone. But with the applications like Instagram or TikTok, maybe you just want to use the phone,
Yeah. but then like what I'm saying is that if you want to be like, there are all these platforms, so you have to use them. Is that, I mean, that I guess that's the advice that I want people to take away from this, which is
Yes.
don't. I mean,
definitely. I built a list of art sites, over 100 art sites, before social media. And I have this link to a page that is online somewhere, and it tells you how many applications there are out there right now. And the last time that I looked at that page, it was over 300 and something applications like Facebook. Many are similar to Facebook and Twitter, and they're in different countries, in different languages. I went on several of them. I have profiles probably in over 200 sites.
Okay.
And what happens is that then your work gets really exposed, because it's like you're flooding the internet with your name and your paintings, right? So you're flooding it, and then you get more hits, and you can, if you have a website, you can direct all that traffic to your website or your e-commerce shop you have online to sell prints or maybe mugs or T-shirts or whatever it is.
So actually, that's something that I think I wanted to ask, which is like how to use your personal website. And so I have we'll talk about this, of course, like maybe more in detail later, but I have a website, but I think I told you that I feel like I'm not using it to its full potential. Like I'm not using it, I think, properly. I have, whenever people ask me for the portfolio, it's a good place to send them, because if I send them to my Instagram, there are so many posts there, so that it might be overwhelming. So websites allow me to sort of, tell them like, okay, this is what I do in different styles, and then show them things like that. And also, that's what I want to do, which is I want to get the exposure, like you said, and then bring everybody to my website to to show my art.
You should have your portfolio, your full portfolio somewhere that it's on a website that is hopefully free. That way, if there is a delay paying for the domain name or the hosting, which is something else, that way your website won't go down, and also take all the portfolio with it. Right. So you want to have it in a public place like a Google. I don't know. They have this free space, and you can upload files. I use Facebook for the most.
Okay.
And then, and I'm sorry, what was the other question?
No, so I want to, like, can you give an example when you mentioned all the websites that, the art websites you said, can you give one example, and then how did you, give me one example, like when you said you have like 200 accounts or 200 like
Okay. Well, what you do is you go online and you look for art websites.
Okay, so you just Google like art websites.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a list, and I'm building a website for the group that is on Facebook, which is going to be the official website. But because I'm working on like I manage like 8 pages on Facebook. Then I got Twitter, and I got LinkedIn, and I'm also building 2 other sites, and actually more like 4 sites.
For example, let's take let's take example. I know you have like a lot of websites. So let's say you paint a new picture. Okay, let's say you paint a new landscape, and you want to put it. You want people to see it, and then you want to redirect that traffic to your website. So You will
Right.
post it on Facebook. You'll post it on
Yeah,
Twitter.
first you post it on Facebook on your main portfolio. You have all your main portfolio always updated. And then if you go to other websites online where
like DeviantArt or ArtStation, things like that.
DeviantArt, it can be any of these art websites, Fine Art America, or any websites in Europe.
Okay.
Some websites in the past, they used to let you upload like 100 images.
Mm-hmm.
And then some websites let you upload like 6 images. So my advice would be not to upload all the work, but upload just a few, just to build a profile with your information, your website if you have one. And then that's how you direct the traffic back to your site, by adding the link of your website on your profile.
Okay.
That's the magic key right here. You have your website, and you just add your website link to every profile that you go to around.
Okay, I see that. Okay, so no, I think that's because like we have to understand that there is one thing which is to create art, but then if you want really people to see your art, you have to do the work. Like you have to put the time and effort to do these things. So so when it comes to like yourself, like do you have a goal, or is there something that you want to like achieve? Like I don't know, like what do you think is the goal that you're working towards?
Okay, when I started the group, my goal was to paint 100 paintings, and from those 100 paintings, get the best paintings out. And that's what I did. I painted 100 paintings, like in a process of 6 months. And from those 100 paintings, I took the best paintings out, and I put them online. And then I got contacted by a publisher, Mehmet, and he put my painting of Madonna on a book. Madonna in Art by London Press, UK. So things can happen from putting the artwork out there. I mean, people cannot find you if you don't have something out there.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's another thing, which is especially the people who are starting, like they are like where do I go, or like what do I do? And so like if you are a writer, you should write. If you're a painter, you should paint. And if you make music, you should start recording pieces of music and then put it on SoundCloud. Or so like there's no roadmap, but you need to have a body of work that you can show. Like I remember when I quit my job, I used to work for a big automotive company, and then I said to myself, I have to try to become an artist because that's what I like. And I was doing, it was a really great company, a really great job, but then I wasn't happy. And now, like, so I did what most foreigners do, which is to become a teacher so that I can have a visa and stay in Bangkok, but at the same time, like, do like freelance gigs, or like, so that, I mean, hopefully that will become my, like, full-time, like, just me doing comics and then like making living from it. That's my goal. And then, but in the beginning, when I was so lost because I didn't know what, like when I was making my business card, I didn't know what I would put everything. I would put storyboard, character design, logo, everything. And then slowly I realized that actually sometimes you need to be simple. You need to, like, because people need to remember you as one, like sometimes just one thing, like, like, so I would just introduce myself as a cartoonist, and still I introduce myself as a cartoonist because I think that's what best describes like what I love drawing and what I gravitate towards. So, and also there's no roadmap, right? So, and one day what happened was, so, I would go to these events. So of course I'm in Meetup, which is the Meetup application, meetup.com. but I'm also on Internations, which is a similar
Yes, I'm there
platform.
too.
Yeah. So, and one day, there was a new group, and I just took I just printed my best illustrations, and then I just took my portfolio with me, like a crazy guy, and then in A3 format, and just by chance, I just met someone there, and he just gave me, he asked me if I can illustrate his book, and like you said, things
Right.
start to happen, and there also the reason I do so. For those who don't, I mentioned it in my podcast, which is I do these cartoon classes now, every Sunday, and it's been good so far. Like, people join in, and it's really fun to hang out for 2 hours per week, and so the reason why I do that is, of course, I love teaching, because by teaching I also learn a lot of new things, but also another customer, I got them by giving these kind of workshops. Of course, now with the situation, I can't give face to face, in a live workshop. So I'm doing it sort of online. But I still want to do it so that at least in Bangkok, people know that there's this guy who draws cartoons, and his name is Boris, and I want that conversation to start, and so. So this is why I speak with people, because now you just gave me an idea of just put I'm going to start putting my artwork in different art websites, just to direct them to my website, to my YouTube channel, because I also have a YouTube channel, so I want to build that following, because I think, am I the best artist? No, but I think I can draw pretty well, and I have a lot to teach, and I think I can I have a lot to offer in terms of art. So no, yeah, I just wanted to say that. So no, you just gave me an idea about those art websites. So
I think you're gonna do very well, because I seen you draw and you make it look very easy. You're a very natural artist.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you make it look very easy, very fast, and the drawings are very well done.
Yeah, thanks.
Good proportion, everything. So I think you're gonna do great with that. And remember that when you build your profiles in different art sites or directories, or whatever website it is, the link that you put there, it doesn't have to be your website. It can be your Facebook page, it can be your portfolio, it can be your YouTube channel or your SoundCloud channel. You can tell it where to go. So you keep some control of where it's going. Right.
Yeah.
Where it's going.
And like you said, when we started, actually, of course we can start now, but I would like to, put something together with you, which is I would like to, collaborate on a project with you, which is, we talked about it in a previous conversation, which is we can't have a live exhibition, or we can't organize something at the cafe at the moment, but we can put something like a e-magazine or a e-book online for people to enjoy or people to read, and actually it's really so as I join these meetups and I do these workshops online, you meet sometimes interesting people. So last week I met I will send you the link, but I met a guy who actually put together, but through Kickstarter, a book of anthology with different artists. So he actually has done what we talked about. So I think it will be also interesting to sort of talk with him. So and he said that he has done comic books. He's working for the Ted Danson company. Oh wait, is it the Muppets? Not Ted Danson, the company that makes Muppet movies. I don't know the name of the company, but he works for that company. He said that he does illustrations for them. So it's when you try to put yourself out there and you tell people that people do listen, and things happen.
Yes, I think there is a lot of things that we can do, something to help emerging artists, especially because those are the ones that need the most help, and not so much the established, famous artists already, because they got all the popularity and the money already. But the fresh talent that is out there, the fresh talent that nobody knows about, or that they have not as much recognition from anyone or groups. So there is emerging artists. We can gather emerging artists' works to put like on an ebook, or it can be like a website, like a directory, to show their work with their name and their link to their website or Facebook or whatever social media they're using. To help them promote. And then I have a list of many professionals in the arts, whether it's museums, art galleries, art collectors, things like that. And I was thinking also in making a newsletter of these of this project, whatever project we make. We can make a newsletter and send it to all these places. So maybe in the future the artist could exhibit something in real life, or maybe not if they can go personally, but they can always mail some work to be exhibited. Which I have participated in a lot of events that you mail the work in, you don't even go, and you're part of the show. You're just not there physically, but your work is, and that's the important part.
Yeah. So again, I just I think I think you have to go. So let's try to wrap this episode up. So and I usually ask like a series of questions, but then today I just want to ask you one question because so I'm trying to put together like a list of reasons why people should do what they love. Like I don't know. I was just thinking about like this stupid idea, which is like what if I came up like what if I interview different people and then I came up with 1,000 reasons to do what you love, and then just put it together like in comic book form in like a book, and then just like so that people, I don't know. I want everyone to, of course, feel safe, but I also want them to work in something they love and do something they love. And sometimes they just need to hear it from someone. Okay, do what you love, and then just to give them that motivation. So do you think? So do you think people should do what they love, and why? So what is the reason from your perspective why people should do what they love?
People should do what they love mainly for peace of mind.
Nice.
Peace of mind, because some of these jobs can really stress you out, especially if you don't love what you're doing. It can seem like work when it shouldn't seem like work.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a really great point, which is it doesn't mean that once you become an artist, you're not going to work. Like creating art is really hard work. Coming up with,
yes, it is.
But the thing is that if you are very proud of the effort you put in, I think, and you're very happy about yes, I didn't sleep for one night, but look at what I did. But instead of, if you're working for another company or doing a job that you don't like, even if you get paid a lot, you might say, oh, I didn't sleep for 3 days, but I'm not going to get the fruits of this this effort, because I'm working for basically this big company I'm a really small, tiny dust in this big company. But if you do what you love, you'll feel like like, I don't know, you are really like big and you are working for something bigger than you. But anyway, so that's a really great reason, like peace of mind. I think that's a really good reason.
Peace of mind. You get a lot of satisfaction from finishing an art project. I'm sure a lot of artists out there get that when they finish something that maybe takes months or even years to finish. I have a painting that took me, I worked on it, painted all year long.
Oh, yeah. So I think, thank you very much, Giuliano. So let's end it. Let's end the podcast here. So is there something that you would like to share? Maybe where can people find you online? Like, do you want to let people know?
Sure. If e-commerce platform to sell.
So wait, there was a, I think you broke off. So there was a moment I think I didn't hear you. So can you repeat?
If any artists out there are looking to sell their work or promote their work, you can do it on Facebook. It's already there. You probably already have an account, and the easiest way to find the group is just to type in the search engine International Artist Group.
Okay. So I think, of course, like I'll ask you for the links, and then I'll put the links in the description for people to check them out.
That would be great, Boris, if you could add the link on the description.
Okay, that's great. So thank you for your time, Giuliano. And so let's stop here. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me, and I wish you all the best with your projects.
Oh, you too. Okay.
All right.